Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1983 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Texas Rangers and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Rangers today is Brian Allard, whose record is 10-16 with a .465 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Dave Rozema, whose record is 10-6 with a 4.06 ERA. And so we had ourselves a pretty nice finale to the Twins series. Tigers won 5-0. We've had so many no-hit bids in the last week. We had another one yesterday, but it was not to be. We did manage to pull out the shutout, and with Brian Kelly on the mound too. Brian Kelly, now in his last two starts, have given up a total of 2 hits. So that's pretty amazing. Gives me a little bit of hope for our rotation for next season. I just wanted to point something out here real quick before we get today's game started. We had an off day, and now we have, it looks like, 9 games at home and 3 on the road. And in this game, you only generate revenue when you play home games. It's not like there's profit sharing where you get some money when you play on the road. That doesn't happen here. And so our projected loss is darn near $700,000 this year, which is almost completely depleted our cash reserves. We will have 9 more games of revenue earning and 3 where we don't gain any money at all. So we will most likely finish in the plus, but it's a close call. I don't know if I feel good that I balanced our finances all the way to the end, or should we have more money? I don't know. We definitely have a few overpaid players, and this also lends to the idea with our expiring contracts. We have 5 players left who are all going to arbitration, and the only one that I project to keep of these is, Dave Smith for sure, because we're going to need a closer. And Keith Comstock probably won't ask for a lot of money, so he might be one that we're going to keep. But Mickey Hatcher's definitely done at the end of the year. In fact, instead of signing and trading him, I don't think he's tradable. His overall rating is 75. I think instead of going to arbitration with him, we just might cut him at the end of the at the end of the year, and then when he goes to free agency, maybe we'll see if he's still around when we have a few dollars left to spend, and maybe re-sign him. But he's untradeable. The other players are all easily tradable, so they'll be signing trades in the off season. So, all right, let's get started with today's game. As always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe. We have 2 contests right now. One is the 1980 Detroit Lions alternate history season. We're getting ready to go to week 2, starting this Sunday. So between now and then, you have to get in your pick on who do you think is going to win the game. The Lions are giving 1.5 points to the Packers, so you have to choose that, and then you have to choose the over-under, which is set at 37 points. So, got to get in on that. I'll have the video at the end of this video, so you can click on that and get in on the contest to win the Billy Sims autograph jersey card. Dave Rozema on the mound. The current Rangers lineup is batting .297 against him. Rosie's been terrible down the stretch. We'll take a longer look at him momentarily. All of the bullpen is available. Here is our lineup versus Brian Allard. Everybody is rested after the day off. Let's go ahead and do the official Texas lineup rundown for today's ball game. Batting leadoff, playing shortstop is Odie Davis. Batting second and DHing is Terry Bogener. Batting third in right field is Mel Hall. Batting cleanup playing first base is Pete O'Brien. Batting fifth in left field is Tom Dunbar. Batting sixth at third base is Tucker Ashford. Batting seventh and catching is Greg Mahlberg. Batting eighth, playing second base is Bump Wills. And batting ninth in center field is Billy Sample. All right, let's take a look here at Dave Rozema, making his 31st start. He's 10-6 with a 4.06 ERA. It has really ballooned here down. If you look at his log, you'll see in the 20 games, his last 20, his ERA 85, and now it has jumped up to 4.06, and it's 4.88 in his last 20 starts. So he's had a really rough stretch, as he seemingly does every year in August and September. He's only had one win. No, I guess he's had two wins, technically, since the month of August started. So we need him to give us something today. We have a full bullpen, though, so I guess if he falls apart, at the very least, we can pull in Jeff Robbins and get them a few more innings pitched. Okay, let's take a look at the Tigers' defense. It's the same as it ever was. We still have all of our main starters in there because we're still only 5 games out. So as long as we're still in it, we may as well play the best guys. And so that is our best defensive option for starters. And Odie Davis leading off against Dave Rozema. Odie Davis just last week hit for the cycle, popping it straight up. Rosie right on the mound, and he defers to the catcher, Terry Kennedy. So 1 out. Here's Terry Bogener, the DH, batting 171. I can't believe this is your best DH option on this team, as he hits a ground ball to second. Out number 2. That will bring up the rookie, Mel Hall. Hall playing right field today, batting 197. Oh, he goes deep for his second career home run. 1-0 Texas. Yeah, his OPS is under 600. All right, so Rosie's given up an early home run here. 4 lefties in a row. Pete O'Brien next man up. He goes to left. And he went for an extra base and was thrown out by Gibby. Gibby showing some arm. That is, I'm always curious because Gibby, that's something he normally does. He's got 4 assists in left field this year. So he's almost has as many assists as he does errors, which is pretty remarkable that he's right around even for the season. Okay, we go to the bottom of the first inning, 1-0 Texas. Let's take a look at the Tigers lineup rundown. Batting leadoff and playing second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second, playing first base is Greg Brock. Batting third at third base is George Brett. Batting cleanup and DHing is Mickey Hatcher. Batting fifth in left field is Kirk Gibson. Batting sixth and playing right field is Glenn Wilson. Batting seventh and catching is Terry Kennedy. Batting eighth at shortstop is Alan Trammell. And batting ninth in center field is Kevin Bass. Okay, let's take a look at Brian Allard. Allard making his 31st start of the year, 10-16 with a 4.65 ERA. He has more walks than strikeouts, 109 walks, 94 strikeouts, and 201 and a third innings pitched. Opponents are batting .273 against him. He does have 6 complete games, 2 shutouts. His fastball tops out at 89 miles an hour. Ground ball percentage is 47.4. He's only got 1 decent pitch. That's a slider. Overall, he is rated an 82. The 25-year-old righty goes to arbitration at the end of the year. His endurance is a 90. So that means he can throw probably 125 to 130 pitches. He maxed out at 139. back against Minnesota when he threw a shutout. But every start in the last 20 has been over 100, with the exception of a loss against Baltimore. Okay, let's take a look at Texas defense. Center field is a problem. That's Billy Sample out there. Not a good defensive outfielder. Everybody else looks pretty solid. Mahlberg behind the plate instead of Davis. All right, here's Sweet Lou leading off. Lou got to 100 runs scored in yesterday's game. Whitaker grounds out to short here. There's one down. Next man up is Greg Brock. Brock batting .291 with 18 home runs in a little bit of a home run drought. Flies out to right center field. Earlier in the season, I would have bet money that Brock would have been the second Tiger to get to 20 home runs. And now I don't think he's going to make it at all. With two down, George Brett lines out to short and a 1-2-3 inning for Allard. So we go to the top of the second. Tommy Dunbar leading off. Dunbar batting .210, 6 home runs. The Rangers have the worst batting average in the American League, team batting average, and the least amount of home runs. They will likely be the only team in the AL to not hit 100 home runs this year. Ashford up next, tapping it back to Rozema, out number 2. And here is the catcher, Greg Mahlberg. Only catcher on the roster. I mean, I wonder if their extended roster has a catcher. I bet it does. They've got to have one in there, right? Ground ball to second. And a 1-2-3 inning for Rosie. We go to the bottom of the second inning with Mickey Hatcher leading off. It's Hatcher, Gibby, Wilson. Hatcher, he taps it back to the pitcher. Seems to happen an awful lot in this game. One out for Kirk Gibson. Gibby goes to left on a line. Caught by the left fielder Dunbar. That will bring up Glenn Wilson. Wilson, I checked yesterday, is 25th, the final spot among the leaders for batting average with a .286 average this season. And he flies out to left. So the Tigers have been shut down in order through 2 innings. We go to the top of the third. Here's Bump Wills leading off. Wills batting .248, team leading 11 home runs and a base hit into right. Third hit for the Rangers today. Will he be going? I have a feeling he will be, as Bill Sample steps up. Yep. Wills holding it first, as Sample pops out to Brock. One out, back to the top of the lineup with Odie Davis. Odiferous. He flies out to right. Wilson making the grab. We'll leave it up to Terry Bogener to get something going with 2 outs. And Wills does steal second base. That's a smart play. Only his 13th stolen base on the year. His speed is 84. And I don't know. I guess he has dropped off a little bit in our sim. I don't know why he wouldn't just be running every time he gets on with this lackadaisical offense. All right, Terry Bogener has a chance here to drive in another run. And he does. 2-0. Bogener with a double. That is his 5th double on the season. Rosie is just trash, man. I don't know what to do about him. I guess next year when we're, maybe in June or July, we start swapping him out with like our long reliever every other start. Try to keep his innings pitched total down or something. Here's Terry Kennedy leading off the bottom of the third. 2-0 Texas. And I mean, we can't even get a damn hit against a pitcher who's 10-16. And our lineup is actually rested. Here's Kevin Bass. Unbelievable. Wow. Going to the top of the 4th inning. Pete O'Brien leading off against Dave Rozema. He's going to gap it. That's it for Rozema. Well, I guess we'll may as well let him pitch this other one here. That's just other lefty instead of bringing in a lefty for one guy. That is O'Brien's 22nd double. Rozema is just absolutely terrible. Striking out Dunbar. Going to pull the outfield in for Tucker Ashford. Ashford's got a home run in his career versus Rosie. Now he's striking everybody out after I threatened to pull him from the ball game. Will Mahlberg get the next run in? Nope, that's a walk. Pulling the outfield in for Bump Wills. And he strikes out the side as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Back to the top of the lineup with Lou. Come on. Second time through, we got to get something going here. As Whitaker dumps it into right center field, a little duck snort. Whitaker stretches it into a double. That is only his 14th double this season. And we've got the leadoff man on. Breaks up the no-hitter. I didn't think there would be a no-hitter, but it wasn't looking good there for a moment. Here's Greg Brock, and of course Brock hits it to third. There's one down. Whitaker has to hold. Brett walks. That'll set up a double play. That's an unintentional, intentional walk. Yeah, I mean, what are we going to do? We're going to have to swing away here. Whoa! Hatcher walks! That is a career high 13th walk for Mickey Hatcher. I like that. We got Gibby up now with one out. Bases loaded. 1-2 count to Gibson, and he strikes out on a pitch that's right down the middle. I mean, that was the perfect pitch to clobber. And he strikes out. That will leave it up to Glenn Wilson. Wilson, he relishes these moments. 0-1 count to Wilson, and a ground ball to short. Yeah, this is one of those games we're not going to win. When you get the bases loaded with one out and you can't score, that's a telltale sign. I mean, we all know that now. Bailey Sample flying out to left. There's one out. Odie Davis, a tapper. Back to Rozema. And we're going to go ahead and pull out Rosie. And we'll bring in Morris Madden. We haven't seen him in a little while. Morris Madden. At one point, he was our #1 prospect. He's fallen off the map now. He's just... Oh, he performed really well in AAA this year. Looking at these numbers here. Walking too many. And, of course, I don't like lefties. So, like, that combination of not having control and not really striking anybody out with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball, I mean, that'll get you packed. Your bag's packed and sent to San Diego or something. 2 down. Let's see how he does here against Terry Bogener. A ground ball to third. And there's out number 3. We're going to the bottom of the 5th inning. Tigers have managed 1 hit today. Terry Kennedy. Whoa! Flips it right over the head of Bill Sample in center field. He's going to go for 3. Kennedy. A triple to dead center field of his first career triple. We'll take it. Well, all right. I mean, they're not pulling the infield in. I think if you put the ball in play anywhere but third, he's going to score. There's a walk. All right, so the walks are finally coming back to haunt Brian Allard. Here's Kevin Bass. Chance to be a hero here. Yeah, a ground ball gets past the third baseman. Kennedy does score. That, I thought for sure was an out, but Tucker Ashford couldn't handle it there at the hot corner. Run scores, Trammell on second base. Nobody out. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Lou. 1-1 count. And a base hit to left. Will Trammell score? He does score from second. And the game is tied at 2. Runners at first and third, and still nobody out. All right, Greg Brock. You haven't done much lately. Let's just get a sac fly here. Let's get us the lead. We got a fast guy on third. That might be deep enough to get it done. Bass does tag, and he scores. It's 3-2 Detroit. Okay, 1 out. We're going to hit and run with George Brett. Keep the pressure on. Ground ball snagged by Davis. There's out number 2 as Whitaker moves up into scoring position for Hatcher. Hatcher has an outside chance at getting 100 RBIs. And he's going to blow the opportunity here. But the Tigers do take the lead. As soon as we take Rosie out, our chances went up. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Morris Madden, we're going to keep him in there to face these 3 lefties coming up. Starting with Mel Hall. Ground ball to second, Whitaker. 1 down. Pete O'Brien gets jammed inside. Fights it off. Fly ball to right. 2 quick outs for Madden. And Tom Dunbar, with a 164 average versus lefties, hits a ground ball to first. And that'll do it. Good job. Very good job by Morris Madden. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Gibby leading off against Brian Allard. A flip to left. It's going to carry deep enough to be caught by Dunbar. 1 out. Next man up is Glenn Wilson. Wilson sending the fly ball to center. 2 outs. Here's Terry Kennedy. He got everything started last inning with that triple. And he pops it up to second, where Wills is waiting for it on the outfield grass. We are going to the 7th inning. Out comes Morris Madden. And we're going to bring in Dave Smith. We're going right to the good guys. Dave Smith, 61st game. He's pitched the most innings of any reliever this year on our team. He's been very effective. Opponents are batting .240 against him. 4 saves, 5 blueies. You pretty much know the rest. As I mentioned in the pregame, he goes to arbitration. We will pay him. Keep him around. We need him to get Ashford, Mahlberg, and Bump. Striking out Ashford. There's 1 down. Is that the first? I feel like we never have a starter that gets a strikeout anymore. I feel like that's the first strikeout of the game. I guess we can look at the end-game stats. That'll tell us. Yeah, Ashford has struck out twice. So one of those must have been Rosie. Next man up is Greg Mahlberg. He's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Ground ball to Brett. Out number 2. And here's Bump Wills. Wills will flip it down the left field line, up against the wall for a double. That is the tying run. Wills' 17th double of the year. We're not going to pull the outfield in here. Wills will probably score no matter what on a single. So we'll play straight away. And a ground ball to third. Brett makes the play. Tigers hold on to the lead. Going into the bottom of the 7th inning. Allard at 79 pitches. So pretty solid, actually, considering he had that one big inning. Trammell leading off, and he flips it to right for a base hit. He's 1 for 2 now with a walk. Leadoff man is on. Kevin Bass strikes out looking. We're going to send Trammell here. It's only a 69% success rate. Mahlberg is at 82, so he's just above average. But I think we're going to take a chance here. Right down the middle, and he is caught stealing. Damn it. It's only the 6th caught stealing on the year for Trammell. I hope that's not a tide turner. So now there's 2 outs and a 3-1 count to Lou, and Lou walks. All right, so maybe, just maybe, Greg Brock could do something good here. He did have a sac fly last time. And he walks. There we go. 5 walks for Allard. Here's George Brett. Brett's 0 for 2. He's walked, and we need something big from him. Come on. There it is! A 3-run shot to left field. And the Tigers take a 6-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. That is George Brett's 17th home run of the season, 7 as a Tiger. And I hope that will be enough for the Tigers today. Ground ball from Hatcher to second, and that's out number 3. Okay, we're going to have Dave Smith pitch to one more batter here, Odie Davis, and then we'll bring in the lefty. We'll probably bring in maybe Danny Jackson. We have a 4-run lead here. Oh, a base hit. Odie Davis is on. I don't know. I don't want to mess around, right? We need to win. Let's bring in Keith Comstock. We haven't seen a ton from him lately. This is his 45th game. 0-2 with a 3.44 ERA, 48 strikeouts, and 49 2/3 innings pitched with a 192 opponent's batting average. Pretty solid despite having a low overall rating. I looked at his negotiation. He's only going to be asking for like $90,000. So I think that's keepable, retainable. Maybe that's the right word. Here is Terry Bogener. Runner on first. Nobody out. Bogener, ground ball to third. That could be a double play. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're in trouble now. Now we're screwed. Oh, come on, man. That is just ridiculous. First and second as Brett makes a big error. Oh, thank goodness. Mel Hall popping it up. No guarantee right now, though. Trammell making the catch. Here's Pete O'Brien. O'Brien, a 242 hitter versus lefties. And a base hit to left. Yeah, there's nothing we're going to be able to do. Oh, no! A run does score. It's unearned. And another base runner thrown out. Bogener thrown out by Gibby. Gibby's got 2 outfield assists in this game. That is amazing. Maybe, just maybe, we can get out of this with only giving up 1 run as Dunbar drives it to center, and that will do it. So it could have been a lot worse. That run goes to Dave Smith. I think it's unearned, but I could be wrong. They're going to bring in Mark Mercer now. Mercer, he's a left-hander. Been in a lot of ball games, as you can see. He's got 3 saves, 1 bluey. Oh, he's got 2 pitches, both pretty good. Curveball at 85, a fastball at 82, overall rated in 83. Gibby just, it might be the MVP of the game. He's 0 for 3, but he's thrown out 2 base runners from left field. He strikes out. That's not going to help his cause. Here's Glenn Wilson, 290 hitter versus lefties. Grounding out to first. And here is Terry Kennedy striking out. Wow, that was not much of an effort. We're going to go ahead and bring in Miller to play center field here. And we're going to bring in our closer. Oh, no. We're going to bring in Roger Weaver. We do have a 3-run lead, but in his last appearance, as I'm sure you've seen, he gave up 3 runs and took the loss. We were up 2-0 in the bottom of the 9th inning, and he could not close it out. He gave up 3 hits and 2 walks and was just downright horrible. He's got Ashford, Mahlberg, and Wills. This might be the last chance he'll ever get to close a ball game. Starting off well, striking out Ashford. There's 1 down. Here's Mahlberg. Mahlberg, hard hit ground ball to second, and Whitaker makes the play. 1 out away from victory here as Bump Will steps in, and a base hit up the middle. Of course, it's never easy. I bet you they will get to the lefty, to Bogener. 2 down, runner on first, ground ball up the middle, trip up, makes the play. Tigers win 6-3. Handshakes, butt slaps, slapper steaks. All right. Well, we do get the win. Number 89 on the year. Let's take a look at the standings. And yeah, we're not gaining any ground. So we are still 5 back with 11 games to go. It is all but over. It's so frustrating. White Sox eliminated today. Baltimore will be eliminated tomorrow. Seattle has the lead by a half game in the West. Everybody over there. Oh, that's what happened. Everybody won in the East. Everybody lost in the West. Let's take a look at the National League. The Cubbies were eliminated today. New York, 1.5 games up on Montreal. Oh, and Los Angeles jumps in front of Cincinnati. Interesting. Okay, let's take a look at headline news. Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. A 5-0 shutout for Milwaukee over the Sox. As Jaime Kokenauer allowed no earned runs on 11 hits. Mike Felder went 2 for 4. Alan Cockrell went 1 for 4 with a triple. That's it. Nobody else has anything to say. Let's take a look at the transactions. Yeah, a couple injuries. The Cubbies lose their shortstop, Scott Fletcher. They are eliminated today, and Scott Fletcher's eliminated. 47 doubles, though. Pretty good for his first full year in the majors. And the White Sox will lose Bob Fallon for a start. No big deal. Okay, let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. We're coming to a close on the season. It was a lot of fun. We're going to have a contest where you can win a card that might be worth $4,000. So stay tuned for that. I can't wait. That's going to be so much fun. It's on the way now, so stay tuned for that. We're going to go ahead and give, even when I want to give the player of the game to George Brett, he still made an error today, which kind of sucked. That was an earned run against Dave Smith, too. So that's not cool. But we're going to go ahead and give it to George Brett. We had a double and a triple and a home run in the ball game. Morris Madden gets the win in relief. 1-0 on the season. And the bullpen basically did their gerb. Roger Weaver, 27th save on the season. I think that's good for 4th in the American League in saves. And the Rangers had 9 hits, 4 extra base hits. Brian Allard takes the loss. He is 10-11. Okay, that's it. There is the video to get in and to get your pick your winner for the Packers-Lions game coming up this Sunday. So until tomorrow, everyone, have a great night.